Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Grassroots Racer. It was great having an experienced driver, Warren Luff, on the show last week. So if you didn't get a chance to see it, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube and Spotify channel to catch up on past episodes. Well, tonight's guest is quite early in his motorsport journey. He's raced go-karts, XLs, and he's currently in the E30 BMW series. And he doesn't mind competing in some E-series leagues on the sim as well. To find out more about his motorsport journey so far, I welcome Royce Lyne. How are you tonight, Royce?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm great. Obviously, for those who don't know, me and Royce, we talk a lot online, and we play iRacing together. So we do know each other, and he is also 15 years old. So it's great to have someone young on the show. Let's start where it all began. How did you get into motorsport, and why did you start?
Well, I guess I've been riding motorbikes since I was 5 or so. Um, Mum and Dad made me start racing go-karts because I just kept on hurting myself, and that was a safer option. So yeah, I started racing go-karts, and then that into doing track days at 14. And yeah, that led into XLs, and yeah, just watching Dad's races in the A30s. That was really cool as well.
And as I mentioned before, you did try some XL racing. What did you think of the category, and would you go back and do some more racing?
Yeah, that category is awesome. Like there's a lot of tight racing in it. Sometimes too tight, but I would like to get back into it. Just yeah, a bit cautious about the guys around me. They're always right in front of me or right behind me. So yeah, just got to watch out.
Have you still got the XL?
Yeah, I've still got my Excel where just it's in the shed right now getting worked on. Some new panels, and yeah, we'll take it out for a track day at Sandown, see how it goes, and go from there.
Yeah. And obviously, you are a fan of motorsport. So what did you watch growing up?
The supercars, obviously, watch them all the time. F1, of course. All the state rounds on Blendline. I love that. Yeah, just the normal stuff. Dad, I watched a lot of his races. When actually at the track, so yeah, that was an experience.
So has your dad only raced E30s, or has he done more racing?
Yeah, he's just raced E30s. Pretty sure. Yeah, he races go karts. He doesn't race, but he just drives them around. That's probably the only other thing that he's done.
Well, you currently do race in the E30 category. What do you like most about racing?
The cars are amazing. I mean, compared to anything else I've ever driven, they're something else that they handle so well. Like I started at the back last round. I was side by side with every car during that race at one point, and I only had minor contact, which was probably my fault. But other than that, it was hard, like 3 wide around Siberia and no contact. So there's super tight racing, and there's no contact, and the cars are amazing.
Yeah, they obviously seem like a great category. What sort of preparation do you do to make the car go quicker?
Tire pressures, like the engines are they're all the same, so there's not much you can do. They're all sealed. Um, yeah, it's just suspension, like but yeah, mainly tire pressures. That's all we play with.
So, do you think because there's not much you can do to it, tire pressures makes a huge difference? So, if you're running something different to someone else, it can change, a matter of a few tenths.
Yeah, well, last race, it was a 10 lapper, so we set I don't know what we had him at, but we set him at a couple pound lower. So like at the start of the race, I was under heaps of pressure, and there was a bit of a gap in front of me. But you know, at the end of the race, I saw Jeremy in front of me getting pretty taily because his pressures must have been a bit higher, and yeah, mine was still coming on, and that's why I finished pretty strong in that race.
Yeah, and what track was that?
That was Phillip Island.
Yeah. What would be your favorite track that you've driven so far?
It's pretty tight between. I mean, Broadford's awesome. I haven't
Mm.
raced it, but I've driven it. Um, Phillip Island, obviously, I can't say no to that. Sandown. I love Sandown, but yeah, I'd say Phillip Island. It's just quick.
Yeah, I've raced around Broadford before. I hold the lap record there in the supercarts. Well, in the junior category. What did you race E30s around there or test day or something?
I drove the E36 now has a M3 engine in it, but that used to have a 1.8 engine. That was my first car that I drove on a track, and yeah, I just drove that around Broadford. It was still one of my best experiences. It was got pretty sideways in the wet.
Yeah, I think Broadford's a pretty cool track, but I think it's almost a bit small for some cars,
Yeah,
to be honest.
yeah, you couldn't have a race on. I don't think not for cars.
Well, I'm pretty sure they used to race Formula V and Formula Ford around there, but I'm not
Yeah,
100% sure on that.
well, I mean those things are pretty small.
Yeah. But have you got a track that you would like to race on at some point in your career?
Well, like I've heard about Calder Park, Taylor Bend, and I think we may be racing at both of them next season. Obviously, Bathurst, I can race that when I'm 16, so that's probably the main one that I can't wait to race at.
Yeah, I can't wait till I get to race at Bathurst. I'm not sure if the Formula V's will go there, but hopefully we do get the opportunity because honestly, we're not that quick, so we should be allowed to have a go around there, but it'd probably be 2 or 3 laps at max, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we hit we hit about 200 in the toe at Phillip Island, so I'm not sure what we'd be doing down Conrod Straight. But have you driven that on the simulator or not really?
Bathurst, yeah, I've done Bathurst quite a lot, as you probably know.
Yeah. Yeah, so you do a lot of supercars around there. What is your lap record? Your lap record.
Well, I kind of cheated in the VF Legacy. I got a 203.5, but I don't know. I haven't done the ZB around there for ages. I'm more the GTE stuff. I'm doing that series now. But yeah, I'm doing the Scops development series. I think next that's coming up. So yeah, that'll be good.
And how often do you practice for sim races like that?
Whenever I'm not doing anything. So yeah, I work 2 nights a week. Um, got school homework, all that kind of stuff. So, but I spend a couple hours at night when I do have the opportunity.
Yeah. But what has been your best achievement so far in the E30s?
I'll probably the only round I've done coming second. I came from last to second in the second or third race, so that was the best fun and probably my best achievement.
Yeah, and did you help build your car or did you buy it ready to go?
Well, that was Dad's old race car that he
Oh,
raced
okay,
15
yeah.
years ago in E30s. So yeah, we took it out of retirement. Um, Dad and I did everything on it. It was completely stripped. Yeah, there's nothing left to it, and yeah, we painted it all, did it all ourselves.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But I gotta ask, what sort of speeds do you guys do? Because they look like they go pretty quick.
Well, mine doesn't have a speedo in it, so but I'd say a little over 200 Phillip Island. That's my guess.
Yeah, and when you were little, did you ever imagine yourself, driving racing cars at 15 years old?
I probably didn't even think that that was possible. Like I didn't really think about it, but yeah, I waited years when I was 12 to get on a track, and yeah, I didn't think it would ever come, but yeah, now I'm racing in 30s, and that's the best ever.
Yeah, so did you start out by doing track days or like crosses, time attacks? How did you start, on the track?
I remember I did a Rob Roy event, um, yeah, on a hill. That was that was one of my first ones, but I think my first was at Sandown, a Tampa day in the 36. Um, so yeah, mainly track days with the BMW Drivers Club as well. They were awesome.
Yeah, so obviously you've been surrounded by E30s pretty much your whole life. Do you get along with everyone in the E30 community since your dad raced for so long?
Yeah, the whole category knows everyone. They're all friends. It's an awesome environment to be in. When I got there at Phillip Island, they all came up to me and wished me luck. And yeah, it's Dad knows all of them, so they all give us a hand. So yeah, it's awesome.
I did mention earlier that you did do a bit of sim racing. What sort of leagues and series have you raced in before and done well?
I haven't done too many leagues. I did a bit of old mate racing. Um, but yeah, now I'm doing the Apex GTE League. And I'll start the Scops Development Series. I think it's called that. Whenever that starts this season. But yeah, I mainly just do hosted muck around.
Yeah, we obviously do a little bit of that from time to time. But do you think the sim does help you when you get in the real race car?
Well, yeah, it's like the reactions probably really help me. Yeah, it's obviously pretty far off real life, but to learn the tracks, it's like I know Bathurst so well. Yeah, that's probably the main thing that it helps me. And yeah, just the reactions.
Yeah, obviously, you do get to learn the tracks quite well when you drive them on the sim, repetitively, and you do a lot of Bathurst racing. But have you ever? What was your favorite hosted race that you done on iRacing?
I know the wheelie bins. With Shane, they're pretty fun. Yeah, the legacy supercars versus the Aldis.
Mm.
But I think my favorite, I remember it was the MX5s at Daytona, and I was running like sixth or something on the last lap, and then I can't remember exactly how, but yeah, all the guys last corner had a big crash, and I ended up winning. So that was pretty hectic, and yeah, that's probably my most memorable one.
And you know, obviously you've driven a lot of different cars on the simulator. If you could drive any car in the future in real life, what would it be?
I'd say the F1. Obviously, that's probably the coolest.
So, have you got a goal of where you want to go with your racing?
Well, I'd love to be able to end up becoming an engineer and engineering my own car that I can race in, I don't know, sports sedans or something like that. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously, if something else comes up, it'd be pretty fun. But yeah, that's probably where I'm at.
Yeah, and realistically, do you think you could potentially get further up, a bit higher than state series? Do you think you could have a go in 86s or Aussie racing cars, maybe potentially Super 3?
Depends. Sponsorship is a big factor. We'd have to have a fair bit of it for that. But yeah, I think 86s is very doable. That would be that would be awesome to do
Mm.
as well.
And are you allowed to say what your plans are for this year racing wise?
Obviously, have a go at every round. Have a go at the championship in the E30s. Um, Consistency would be good during all the rounds. But yeah, I'd love to. Hopefully, they get the numbers for Taylor Bend and Calder Park. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, at the moment we're just awaiting the permit, so I really hope we can get the opportunity to race around Calder Park.
Yeah, definitely.
But what advice would you give to younger kids out there? Because I know we're still young, but what advice would you give to young kids out there who are thinking about jumping in a race car?
Do go karts first. Make sure you've got the bug. I guess you know that kind of stuff.
And is there any motivators or sponsors that have helped you on your journey?
Not so many sponsors, but mainly like all the bells. Some of Dad's mates tipped in a bit. Greg from Kings Creek Hotel, he's helped us out. But mainly Dad, he's done all the work on the car. He did 90% of the work on the car. I did just the little bits. So yeah, without what Dad's done, none of this would have happened. So yeah, thanks, Dad.
Yeah, and do you have any social media platforms where the viewers can follow your progress?
Instagram is Royce Lyne Racing, and the Facebook is just Royce Lyne.
Cool. Well, thanks for catching up with me tonight, Royce. It's been great hearing about your motorsport journey so far. Hopefully, I get to see you at Sandown soon, and I wish you all the best for the season ahead.
Yeah, thanks. You too.
And to everyone else racing this weekend, remember, drive fast and take chances, safely, of course. Thank you, Royce, so much.
Thank you. See ya.